What up, world? I'm Steve, founder and CEO of Cru University.com, home of the #1 crypto classes. Today, another exciting video, Bitcoin's next dramatic move. If you're new here, join the movement, hit that subscribe button right now, and everybody hit that thumbs up button. I appreciate you. It's great to be back. You guys know I've missed a little bit of time here on YouTube for the birth of my first child, which was incredible. More to come on that later in the video. But first, let's get to Andrew. Andrew was hesitant to take my classes and called it, quote, the worst mistake I could have possibly made was waiting to take Steve's classes. Andrew signed up, put his foot down, and says, quote, I opened my trade on December 13th and closed it last night for a 77% gain in a crappy market. That's after his first 2 trades were also winning. Andrew, keep up that fantastic work. Guys, stop missing out on these enormous trades. Stop losing your hard-earned money. My classes are exactly what you need. Join all of our students from all over the world today. Here's how you sign up. You're going to sign up to this combo class if you've been in crypto around 1 year. It'll be the very first link right down in the description. I'll link it for you inside the video right here. Save $300 with this link right now. You're going to sign up to this combo if you've been in crypto just a few months. It'll be the second link right down in the description. I'll link it for you inside the video right here. We look forward to welcoming you in. Now, let's get into this video. It is going to be absolutely jam-packed with incredible information. It is so good to be back. I'm so excited to see you here as well. Now, this video is going to be mainly about crosses. We've been really ahead of the curve with crosses. When you have a major cross in crypto, it generally affects the next several months to come in crypto. For example, we made this video 1 year ago. We called for a death cross back when nobody was talking about a death cross. 1 year ago, we made this video, and in this video, we said that we would be in a bear market for the next year because of the death cross. Now, fast forward, and by the way, that was not a popular thing to say. Everybody said I was basically crazy, but luckily I have 18 years of experience, and these things are pretty simple. So if you fast forward from the death cross about 8 months, we talked about a death cross forming on the 3-day chart. We called for that to happen well before it did when nobody else was discussing it, and we said it was going to be drastic, very dramatic. We said that we were going to fall from 6K down to our support at our 200-week moving average. Now looking back, we know that that's how it played out. There's a few other crosses that we're going to discuss today that are very important in Bitcoin's next move and the next several months. So let's jump into it. What you see here is a daily chart, right? We've got our green line which represents the 50 and our blue representing the 100-day. These are moving averages on the daily chart. What I want you to notice is we're going to go through these 5 steps and we're going to understand what cross is coming and what does it mean. Just take a look at how these lines are playing with each other, these moving averages, right? When we went into a bear market, we really struggled with this 100-day moving average. We got above the 50-day from time to time, but the 100 we really struggled with and just got above it briefly, and from a percentage standpoint, not very much. Mainly, we stayed below it. In fact, this was the last point where we just peeked our head above it, and this was a very long downturn where the bear market really picked up momentum and we went further down. In fact, we stayed below the 100 for about 100 and I believe it was about 175-ish days. Yeah, 173-ish days. So a very long period. But what happened in 2015? Because we've been comparing the 2015 to the 2019 chart for the better part of a year, which is how we stayed ahead of the curve. Now, in 2015, very similar action. When we went into a bear market, we struggled with the 100-day moving average. We got above it briefly, but really struggled. Got rejected here, and got above it here, right? Now, we had that same long, dramatic period where we didn't even get close to the 100-day. And back in 2015, from the point that we were above the 100-day to the next point, it's about 210 days, right? A very long period, quite similar to that of present day. Now, let's take it a step further. We're going to take it to step number 2, extended from the 100 days. So when we had that long drawn out period where we stayed below the 100-day and finally got above it, how high did we really go? Well, in present day, we can take a measured move here. How high did we go above the 100-day? We're talking about 9%, right? And if we go back to 2015, if we zoom in here for that first period that we went above the 100-day, about 9%. But what followed is very important. Take a look, because this is the 2015 chart. So 2015 chart, we had this long period where the bear market really picked up, pushing prices down, and then we had a final peak through the 100-day right before we had a cross. Very important. Take a look at this structure, guys. We had the bear market picked up, pushes prices further down, rejected by the 100-day. We finally got above the 100-day directly before our first cross after a long period of time. Take a look here. Bear market picks up, pushes prices further down, long extended period of time below the 100-day, and we got above the 100-day directly before our cross. It's the exact same situation playing out, but the important thing is, well, what happens after this cross? What does this cross actually mean? And we're actually going to cover a few other crosses in this chart, which is just fascinating. We'll get to that in a little bit. So what does this cross mean? Let's go back to our steps here and see what we can uncover, right? So we talked about the percent back to the 100. We talked about how long the period was. Now, this cross, you can take a look at this cross. It's happening as we speak. We are in the midst of a cross right now, and it's very important to know, what does it signify if we're looking at the structure? Well, we know that this cross happened directly after we had our first bottoming action. But the question is, well, is this the real bottom, or is it some type of fake out? What can we gather from just the evidence, not using our emotion? We know in retrospect, looking at 2015, this was our true bottom. We know that. That's undeniably, we can't argue that. Just the facts. We know that from our bottom, right after that is when we peeked our head through. And right after that is when we had the cross. All these things are lining up. But how about the time period? If we take a measured move from our true bottom to when we actually crossed, when we had the 50 and 100-day cross, we're looking at 78, is it? Yeah, about 80 days. About 80 days from our bottom, from our true bottom that we know in 2015 to this cross. And by the way, it happened directly after we peeked our head above the 100-day. Now, if we take this as our true bottom and we look here to when we haven't crossed, we're about to cross right now, we're talking about 84 days. It's very, very eerie how similar these are, right? So this means that very well we could have bottomed. And this is important to know these pieces of information and how they're playing out. These crosses are critical, right? So let's take a look at our notes and take it one step further. So we talked about these days from the bottom. So this could surprise everybody, right? We could have very well bottomed. We did a video a few months back about have we bottomed or not, and we gave evidence, and we said in the next 2 months, everything's going to come clear. there's evidence building that we have in fact bottomed, but this next move is going to be really dramatic and one of the most important moves Bitcoin has ever seen. And this next chart is really going to signify what that move is and what we need to watch for. So in the meantime, these crosses are really, really important. You know, we talked about the death cross on the 1 day a year ago and said we were going to be in a bear market for the next year. We talked about the death cross on the 3 day. We said it was going to be significant. This is significant. This is a significant cross. It's important to stay ahead of all the other humans with crosses like this. That's why you guys watch my videos. I love you guys watching my videos. You love my videos because you're learning something always. But if you think that these videos are great, which they are, my classes are several steps ahead. It's not even close. I released this video about 5 weeks ago to my students, a little more than 5 weeks, about this exact cross so that my students are ready and they had my strategy right now that I'm using during this cross so that you can maximize your money and not miss out on these big trades. Very important. So this cross, we're going to follow it very closely. Make sure you're subscribed right now with notifications on to stay ahead of all the other humans. So hit that button right now. So we understand that, okay, a cross is coming. What happened back in 2015 after this cross? Well, you could see right here we had this cross and then we had a pretty big fall down, right? We had a pretty big fall down, which everybody's catching their breath. Oh my God, are we going to fall through our support? Is this another big fall down down to another bottom, a new bottom? We need to really investigate that on the charts coming up in this video. But really straightforward, we had move above the 100 day, then we had our cross, then we had a move down. Very simple, very simple. So let's look at the short term and see what we can uncover with the short term daily chart. You can see here on our moving averages, the RSI. On our RSI, you can see that we had really significant resistance from the last several months from the point of 57, 58. And you can see we just recently got rejected from that level. We tried to move above it and we were denied. Our stochastics does have a little room to the upside, albeit not a ton, right? We do have some move to the upside. If I were you and I'm watching the short term, a lot of you guys like to watch the short term, which I don't recommend. That's for another video. But look, to watch the short term, you're watching the stochastics. You can see the curvature already start to happen. Pay close attention to that. If you see a cross below 80, then we know that we're heading for a little bit down, right? We're going to try to catch support right at this cross, which is about 3.7. We have pretty strong support there, but more information on these coming charts, okay? So that's the gist of what's going on right now as we move into this formation of this big cross. It's only happened one other time in history, back here in 2015, after a bear market, same structure, bottom, move ahead, cross, move down, continue consolidation, move into bull market in the next handful of months, right? Bull market is not going to happen next month or month after. However, the point is that we had already bottomed in this situation. So the charts that are coming up are really going to dictate some further evidence that we're looking at. So let's get into that. Before we get there, this is coming in from Ralph B. Ralph B calls it, quote, an absolute game changer. Ralph B was in stocks for about 5 years and realized he was just gambling, had no solid strategy. Bit the bullet, took the classes, and called it an absolute game changer. In fact, Ralph B goes on to say, quote, I've already made 125% of what I paid for the classes in just 3 weeks of trading. Goes on to say, Steve, thanks you for helping me figure it out and changing my life going forward. Ralph, keep up the great work. It is so critical that you guys stop missing out on these huge trades. Stop losing your hard-earned money. Very important. My classes are exactly what you need. Join all my students from all around the world today, and you can have your life changed for the better for investing for many years to come. Here's how to sign up. You're going to sign up to this combo class if you've been in crypto around 1 year. It'll be the very first link right down in the description. I'll link it for you inside the video right here. You're going to sign up to this combo if you've been in crypto just a few months. It'll be the second link right down in the description. I'll link it for you inside the video right here. Save $400 with that combo class. Unbelievable. What an incredible opportunity. Now, let's get into some other charts, right? So we know that some crosses are coming up. We know that potentially our bottom in it is in. And by the way, some information about the bottom, just real quick. And this is something I see happening all over the place. It hurts my eyes, hurts my ears, and I want to protect you guys. It's not important whether the bottom is in or not. It's really not. You won't be able to find one professional trader on planet Earth who's concerned if the bottom is in or not. It's not possible. Professional traders have a bulletproof strategy that's built to dominate, whether it's Monday, Sunday night, whether it's bear market or bull market or whatever country they're in. They follow the strategy. If you're focused on, that's a sexy thing for the media to take, and it's fun to talk about and it's fun to predict. Is it important in making money? You're here to make money. You're not here to make predictions whether the bottom is in or not. I just want to make that point clear because a lot of people are going to get caught with their pants down, worried about something that doesn't matter at all. What matters is having a strategy that's built to dominate. That's what matters. The whether the bottom is in or not, it's sexy to talk about. But again, you won't find any professional traders that are really concerned about that. Again, we'll continue to talk about it because it's interesting, it's fun. A lot of you want to know about it, but is it important for making money? No, really not. Okay, now let's get into this chart. Just little tidbits of information, guys. I don't like to see you guys get destroyed out there. It's a dangerous place, so just proceed with caution. So this is a fascinating chart. I love this chart. I could spend the next 2 hours talking about this chart. Let's break it down into simple terms. We know that when we've got blue and green, and by the way, we're on a daily chart. This is the BLX, and we've got simple moving averages in place, and you can see the settings above if you would like to make this chart yourself. So we've got blue and green. We know blue and green, bull market. Great. We're making a lot of money. We know that red and orange, bad news, bear market. And you can see the colors if we zoom out here in the over 8 years of history. We know that we've had a couple of occasions with some red and orange. So remember, crypto has been in about 6 big corrections, 2 of which were drawn out bear markets, the one in 2014, 2015, and 2018, 2019. Right? We're going to focus on these 2 in the structure. But if we zoom in here, it's really fascinating. Just take a look at this. Take a look at this bottom green line. When the bottom green line ran out of gas and changed to red/orange, that's when the bear market really picked up in its second phase, leading down into this situation here, which, by the way, happened exactly at the 3-day death cross. So we're not surprised by that. However, if we look back in history and we say, okay, what do those color changes tell us? We know that this green line at the bottom was pretty significant. We know that when the green line changed to orange and red, the bear market picked up into its second phase, pushing prices down, leading to our bottom, right? Pretty simple. So the crosses here that we're going to discuss are very critical. But let's dig into this daily chart first. You can just see the structure of what happened from our bottom when the prices turned to red and orange. And if we zoom back in to present day, what I want you to focus on is just a couple lines here. You can see that our bottom line, right? This bottom line here, watch the movement of this bottom line. For that second wave, it really stayed at the bottom for an extended period of time. And then it crossed our second, crossed back through, and just recently crossed the next 2 moving averages. So you can see this bottom line come down and cross not once, cross twice into present day. So let's try to get an understanding of where potentially we are. We looked back at the charts before and got an understanding of where potentially we are as the 50 and 100 day are about to cross. Let's see if the story lines up with these crosses, because our bottom line crossed the two lines above it right here in present day. So as we zoom back, we're going to take a look at after our potential bottom. We can see that our bottom line here is in fact at the bottom, just like it was the chart we just looked at. Remember, this is 2015 now. So the bottom line comes through and right here crosses once and twice. You can see the similarities are unparalleled. It's really mirror image. And this, by the way, was directly at the point of the 50 and 100 day cross. Keep that structure in mind. Look at this structure. Look at this. This is the 2015 chart. We're just looking at this point right here where we are right before the 50 and 100 day. And by the way, we know the 50 and 100 day, it's about to cross any minute right now. So structurally, it's really important that we understand, because a lot of people still believe we got a ton of room to move down. And could Bitcoin find a new bottom? Yes. But can we be emotionally attached to either way? No. We have to stay even keel. We have to stay emotionless. I want to show you without my emotions, without any predictions or any tie to any side, just what I'm seeing in the charts is very important. What I'm seeing is we could have in fact bottomed, and we've got some structure forming, which we're going to find our new low, and we're going to talk about that further in a minute. So this is the weekly chart, right? So we looked at the daily chart right here. All we did is we went to the weekly time frame with the same settings. And what that tells us is there are a couple crosses that are forming on the weekly chart that are really fascinating as well. So let's dig into them. I have them circled here. So again, same settings, just the weekly chart. Let's take a look. We can see that we've got two crosses forming here. The first moving average crossed with the fourth one, right? And you can see the settings up here. We've got the 20, the 50, the 100, the 150, so on and so forth. But the first one just crossed with the fourth one, and the second one just crossed with the third one. Let's zoom in so you can see it more clearly. Take a look here. The second and the third moving averages crossed right here. Second being this one, third one being this one, just crossed above price action. Now, the first one and the fourth one, close to price action, just had a cross. And we ask ourselves, has this happened before? Is this an anomaly? Can we base it on any sort of data from the past to understand what's coming? We've already analyzed it through a couple different lenses. It's telling us the same information. Are these crosses also telling the same story, or is it something very different? If it's different, then we have counterintuitive data, and we need to analyze what that is telling us. But if everything is telling us the same story, then we need to take it more seriously. So let's dig back in history and see if these crosses have ever happened. Have we had the first line cross with the fourth? Okay, first, second, third, fourth. Fourth coming right above price action, just like present day. The first moving average crossing with the fourth directly above price action, as well as right above it, the second and the third. Take a look, the second line and the third line crossing right here. So it is a mirror image. It's a mirror image. This happened directly before the 100 and the 50-day cross, which pushed price action back down to our 200-week moving average, right? So that's what we can expect to happen over the next handful of weeks, right? That's what the charts are telling us. We've had these crosses. We've got the 150-day. We have some signals coming in on on a daily chart, our stochastics is running out of steam. We have all of these indications telling us that we're going to have a fall down, and a lot of people are going to get very excited about this. It's going to be a little bit dramatic, and I want you guys to stay even keeled during this period because it could be really special. I mean, really special from an investment standpoint, right? This is not financial advice, but I'm just telling you guys like it is. You need to be ready because this next few weeks to 2 months is going to be incredible, really incredible. So pay close attention. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. So we have these crosses, which again, if we look at the 20-week moving average, which I told you guys weeks ago, I left you guys with this note. I said, look, watch the 20-week moving average. So let's look at just the 20-week and see what it's telling us, because that's where I left you guys weeks ago, where we were down a little below 4,000. I said, look, we've got some room to go up. It's pretty likely we'll hit about 4,003 and get rejected from this 20-week. So this green line now represents the 20-week. We're on the weekly chart here on the BLX on TradingView. And I asked you, just watch that. The reason is simple. Because we've gotten rejected for the past year from this line. And then before that, it acted as support. Previous support, future resistance. Investing is really simple if you allow yourself to make it simple. A lot of people want to overcomplicate things. We really believe in keeping it simple. That's why our classes are so successful. That's why our YouTube videos are very popular. We keep it simple. We also don't believe in BS. Our words are not paid for. They never will be. We might be one of the only YouTube channels left who don't take paid ads. We don't stand for that. And we also really believe in honesty. So I always will tell you guys like it is. Look at this, really simple. 20-week moving average, support, 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 support for years. Now resistance the past year. So what happened previously? Well, it was resistance. What's going to happen next? It's still going to be resistance. It's going to push us down, pretty likely down here where our 200-week moving average is probably around 3.3-ish. So that's where I expect us to go. Not tomorrow, not the next day. It's going to take some time, probably weeks, for us to get down there. But we'll continue to cover it to see if we're on track with the structure. But make no mistake, this 20-week is one of the most underrated moving averages of the history of Bitcoin. Have you ever heard anybody talk about it? I haven't. And look at the chart here. Extreme resistance. Previously, extreme support. It played a key role all the way back. If we zoom in all the way back, look at when we first touched down here. Back in 2010, it was still critical. Look at this first big correction we saw in this chart. Massive correction. Guess where? Right down to the 20-week moving average back in April of 2011. That's why I asked you guys, I need to step away from YouTube for a little bit for the birth of my first child. Just watch this moving average and don't watch anything else. And so far, we're on pace, right? And we'll continue to monitor it, but this is what it looks like. What else is forming? Well, look at our stochastics on a weekly. I told you guys when we have crosses on a weekly, especially above 70, 80, they're no joke. Look at our last one that was above 70, 80. It happened directly at the peak. Directly at the peak, we had a cross on our stochastics, and we all know what happened after that. Am I saying we're going to also drop 85% from here? Absolutely not. What I want you to know are these crosses are significant. They're significant. We need to pay attention to them. Our stochastics is getting up very high in the weekly chart in very rare territory. And by the way, it's very similar to what happened back here. Look at our stochastics, got up pretty high right around the time period where we had our 150-day, and you see what happened. And simply put, the 20-week moving average is going to continue to push us down more than likely until our 200-week moving average. So that's what we're watching in the next few weeks, right? We want to see how we react to this 200-week moving average. And we may break it, and that's okay. right? But the charts are saying a lot of things are pointing to the fact that we're not going to break it. One thing that's pointing to the fact that we may break it is this RSI. I really don't like the structure of this RSI, and we can take a look at more detail here. So watch the middle of your screen. We had our peak. We had our fall down to the most critical moving average, or the most critical trend line here at 41 on the RSI. Very critical for 8 years, okay? We fell from our high down to our base, held support, and fell below. You could see what happened, same thing here. Back in 2014, we had our high, fell to our base, and then we fell below. The structure here is a bit different. This was our retest and then our new fall down to our low, where we spent a little more time above as support, a little less time below. So, banana, we'll have to see how it comes. But again, if you're a professional trader, you could care less if it's the bottom or not, because your strategy is built to dominate. It's built to win more than it loses. So it's really irrelevant. None of my students are worried at all if the bottom is in. It's more likely, yes, the bottom is in than not. At this current stand, that's how we're seeing things. Again, I made a bonus video 5 weeks ago talking about this cross to my students because it's significant. I wanted them to be ready. 5 weeks ago, they had this information. So, it's really critical to have this information, guys. If you've been waiting to sign up to the classes, then you've got to make a change. You know that you're learning here every video I make. Don't keep waiting. My classes are on a way different level. It's really a game changer. So don't keep waiting. Now, here's a review from Chase. Chase was hesitant to sign up to the classes, and he finally bit the bullet and wanted to see what the classes were all about after being hesitant for months. And Chase said, quote, "My last trade, I made 81% gain in 14 days. Chase went from hesitant, waiting several months, to signing up and to being one of the people who I'm talking about here on the YouTube. I want you to be next. I want your story to be here. I don't want you to keep missing out on these big trades. Stop losing your hard-earned money. These classes are exactly what you need. Join my students from all around the world. Here's how to sign up. You're going to sign up to this combo class if you've been in crypto around 1 year. It'll be the very first link right down in the description. I'll link it for you inside the video right here. You're going to sign up to this combo class if you've been in crypto just a few months. It'll be the second link right down in the description. I'll link it for you inside the video right here. Save $400 right now on this combo package. Now, let's get into a couple other things, guys. This is my favorite time in the video, Steve's Secrets to Success. We may hold off on Steve's Secrets to Success today because I think a lot of people want to know what's going on with your newborn son, Steve. Can you please tell us some details? I want to know something. So that's what this part of the video is going to be. Before we get to that, if you haven't subscribed yet, scroll down right now. I want you to pause this video and scroll down. If you're on a computer, it's going to look like this. If you're on a phone, scroll down and look for that subscribe button. If it's red, like my shirt, there's a problem. Hit that button right now. Boom! And hit that bell that comes up as well so you can get these videos hot off the press. Make sure it's got the wings on there, but you don't want red. So hit that button right now. The next thing I want you guys to do is, you're learning every video here on my channel because that's what we stand for. We stand for keeping it simple, education, really controlling emotions. So share this in one place. And I'm talking to you who have never shared a video ever. I want this to be your first share. So share it in one place right now. Twitter, Facebook, wherever you want, just in one place. That's it. The next thing is this. Don't miss out on this. This is free. Everybody likes free. So go to my website right now, CruUniversity.com. Link is in the description as well. And come down to the homepage. Scroll all the way to the bottom right here and subscribe to the email list. It's free. You will love it. Put your email address in here. Boom. Hit that subscribe button. That's it. You're done. The next thing, the next thing, I just feel so happy to be back, guys. This is really incredible. I've missed you. This is my only break I've ever taken from YouTube, ever. And it's good to be back. It's really good to be back. I'm so excited. I'm so happy that you're here, and I want to help you guys get back on the right track because we've missed some time. I want to make sure everybody is learning the most important things as we speak in these markets. So I'm happy to see you. It's great to be back. Now, how about the new drip, guys? Look at this. Let me know what your thoughts are about, we did red for a reason. Because we've got some red that should be coming in the next few weeks. So potentially watch out for some colors of the shirts, but the new drip is in full effect. Now, to the part you've all been waiting for. My new son. So let me give you a little bit of backstory because I'm here in Ecuador in the countryside at the beach. We wanted to bring our moms in. So we brought, one mom from Hong Kong, one mom from the US. Family is very important to me. I wanted them to be here for the birth. We couldn't have the baby anywhere near us here on the countryside because, look, we're in a less fortunate country. You have to go to the biggest city where the most educated people are, where you can get the best technology, the best service. So we moved the family out for, it was about a 3-hour drive, 4 hours. And I wanted to get my son born at the best place. And obviously, if you've ever been to a less fortunate country, that's, a good idea. So when we went there, that's when we had the earthquake, which was a little bit chaotic. I tweeted that out, but thank you for everybody's support. And my son was born on 15 days ago. He was born on February 24th. Happy, healthy. It's really incredible. It's really... I just got chills down my back. It's such an incredible experience. I've learned so much. I studied a lot before I had our child. And after I had our child, it's really interesting because I want to chart stuff. I want, for example, babies cry, and this is what I learned in my research, and it's come true. Babies don't cry for no reason. Every time a baby cries, it's for a specific reason. And guess what? There's only a handful of reasons. There's only like 4 reasons it could possibly be, but I guarantee it's one of them. And my son, it's really 2. He cries when he's hungry or when he's uncomfortable, like he's got a fart or burp, whatever that is. It's uncomfortable. And I wanted to chart the information because we're collecting data on what time he eats and how much he eats. And my charting mentality, I said to my fiance, I just want to chart what's happening so I can better help him. For example, if we're changing him and he's crying, there is a certain type of events that happen before that to cause the crying. It's really like the way my brain works. That's what I believe in. So I wanted to chart things and data and instances so I can help him be more happy. Maybe I'm crazy, but let me know if you guys have ever tried to chart information and what you found, because, I believe anything can be charted, and there's always, things that you can see when you chart and you get it in front of you and you've got your indicators and your moving averages, albeit for my son. However, it's all for the good of my son. So another thing that you guys are probably wondering, and by the way, it was phenomenal to have family time. I recommend if you guys are having a baby, take some time away and really focus in on family time. I didn't take a day off. We took some time away from YouTube, but it's impossible to take a day off running a company that's really growing and thriving. So I had my priorities in line. My son, number 1, absolutely. But I wasn't working 10, 12 hours a day, which was good. I got to see my son. So a lot of people are asking, Steve, how about the name? I'll tell you guys this. So I'm not a normal human. You've probably realized that by watching my videos. When everybody goes left, I go right. I've done it my whole life. So my son doesn't have a normal human name at all in any way. I don't know if anybody else has this name. It'll be really interesting to see. Maybe you have it. But we wanted to give it some significance, not just any name, but something that was really meaningful, really impactful, deep in the heart for both myself and my fiance. We love traveling, so we picked a location that was incredibly important that we lived in, and it was really kind of a game changer for us, and it was a name that's really strong. And we'll go over it on the next video. You can feel free to guess. Probably won't guess. It's a city. It's not a country. It's a city, and it's a city that I really hold dear to my heart, as well as my fiance, and it's a really unique name. So we'll discuss it on the next video. Yeah, so the last piece that I wanted to discuss at this point was just that the market bottom. Everybody's so caught up in if this is the bottom or not, and that's for the news to discuss. That's for the sheep to discuss. Again, professional traders are really not concerned with this at all, even for 1 minute. I want to make that point clear because it's probably still confusing. Like, Steve, isn't that the most important thing right now? No, it's really not. It's really not that important. We'll discuss it because everybody wants to know about it, and it's like something sexy to talk about. But if you really want to make money, you're not concerned with that. You need a strategy that's bulletproof, a strategy that's built to dominate in crypto. And you need to follow those rules emotionless. And if you can do that, you're going to win. I guarantee it. It's very difficult to do. That's why 95% of humans fail. But just pump the brakes on that topic a little bit and focus on things that actually matter, like getting a strategy. You know, whether it's the bottom or not, what I will tell you is the lesson I shared with my students 5 weeks ago when I discussed this cross 5 weeks ago in a bonus class. And by the way, if you sign up, you're going to get my strategy that I'm using right now as we speak, what coins I'm investing in right now, and what I'm looking at in the chart to know when to buy and when to sell. Very important. So, by the way, what I shared with my students 5 weeks ago is this main lesson. Take this really to heart. I've lived through a lot of bear markets. I've been in investing for 18 years. Here's my biggest lesson I learned from bear markets. Almost all humans will sit on their hands, waiting for that perfect moment to buy. They sit on their hands, and guess what? Things start going up, they're still sitting on their hands because they really believe it's going back down. Things go up more, they're still sitting on their hands. They're convinced that we still have downward movement to go. Things going up, still sitting on hands. And guess what? They invest back up here when we're about to really go into the next bear market. Don't sit on your hands, guys. Do not sit on your hands. I don't know if anybody's given you this advice, but this is a game changer advice I'm giving you for free. Don't sit on your hands. It's the biggest mistake in every bear market in human history. That's why 90 to 95% of people will fail. But again, if you have a bulletproof strategy, you could give a damn if it's bottom or not. You're investing just based on your rules, whether it's Monday or Friday or April or May. It doesn't matter. Where you live in the country, it doesn't matter. You're following your set of rules without emotion, and that's it. So that's how to really change it, and please take it to heart. This is not investment advice, but this is honest truth coming straight from my heart. I don't want to see you guys keep losing your hard-earned money, and I want you to emphasize the fact that you can make these big trades. You can do it. Believe in yourself, right? It's got to start with education. You have to know that. So I'm going to leave you there. It's incredible to see you guys. Thank you for the overwhelming support. It has been off the charts, the support during this period, having my son and everything that went with it. It's been incredible. I'm happy to be back, and I look forward to seeing you right back here in the next video. Click on my face somewhere in the middle to go to the website, or click on those videos to get caught up on our previous videos. I look forward to seeing you. Peace and love to the Crypto Crew.